I'm like, oh
no.
What you talking?
Just told you about that.
We are rolling on both decks. Groovy.
So,
Here we go.
so this is the camera?
That's the camera you play to.
I'm gonna play to you.
Here we go.
So she was Thursday, for those who are watching. We were just here.
Yeah.
We had another awesome radio play last night, so if you haven't checked those out, make sure you check those out on iTunes, because we get all-star cast coming in reading 1940s radio plays.
Yeah.
What's not to love? It's hilarious.
It's pretty
It's
good.
pretty awesome. So Sue, you're always on my lap.
I am.
On our
I'm
right this
maybe
evening?
3 hours out of dental surgery,
3 hours.
so just bear with
It's
me.
gonna be all
My
awesome.
face doesn't work, but little could bring me out in the rain with a frozen face than this woman and her show This Life, which is starting back again
Yeah,
soon.
Sunday.
I can't believe it.
Sunday, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Torri Higginson, welcome to the studio.
Hello. Hello.
This is the third time
I
we've
love that
chatted
you're
to
on
you.
the far left today. It's like floating. You're on the
Yeah.
floating left today.
What's our background?
She's on drugs.
It's actually our sign. It says,
Oh,
it appears
sweet.
at the mind reels. I think Tori's name is like right about here.
Aw.
Yeah. Very cool.
We can get Iggy Pop in space.
Not this time.
Yeah.
Come back again.
Can we do that for the next one?
Yes.
Work on that. A floating Iggy and Patty.
Right?
That would be sweet.
So, we haven't actually had a chance to play with Tori. Me in the studio before. We've got like
Not
20
in
minutes
here,
to
no.
play. so
Only in
we
the
got-
parks, not in the studio. That park play was fun though.
Right?
Yes.
You get it.
I know how to chase the ball. I'm good with the ball.
Wow.
It's
But
Thursday.
I just want to jump right in because, you know, you've been doing this all day, so I expect you're a little
I'm a little bit dumb.
Yeah, you're-
I'm a bit dumb.
No, you just...
You're on the fun drugs, I'm
Dumb.
just on the dumb drugs.
No.
I just
can't
can't feel
true.
my face.
I can't feel it. But I was thinking about this today because this life is, you know, it walks a really fine line. I mean, with the wrong cast and the wrong writing, this could just devolve into cheesy melodrama. And yet, for the entire first season, you guys had the solid writing, solid cast, and knocked it out of the freaking park.
Sweet. Yeah, we saved the cheesy melodrama for season 2.
Oh, sweet.
Yes!
None of that. Yeah, no, that's it, right? I'm thinking 90% of any show, it's in the writing, if it's not on the page. I remember hearing a director years ago saying, we can all destroy a good script, but nobody can do anything to raise a bad script. So if it's not there to begin with, in the words, on the page, then you don't really have anywhere to go with it.
That's true.
And we were so lucky that we already, yeah, that's what they do. That's what Joseph and his magical team of writers. I don't know why.
Writers.
I don't know why. You know what I mean, Rachel. You're not a. Anyway.
You're like a wizard.
You're-
More than
That's
There you
exactly
go.
magical.
Right.
That's exactly
Yeah.
why
Wizard.
it was. That's exactly what I meant.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Well played. Now, I did, a couple thoughts did pop into my head on the way. It was like, why Montreal?
Why Montreal?
Yeah.
Well, very specifically why, because it was a Quebecois French-Canadian show to begin with. Nouvelle Adresse, that was written and created by Richard Blemont. Excuse my pronunciation, my French is awful. But he wrote this series, and it's an interesting journey that he went through, because his original concept, I believe, I hope I'm correct in this, was to start a series which is a family right after somebody has died of this disease, and to see how people, not this disease, any disease, but
Yeah.
the repercussions and how does a family, how do those plates keep spinning after this has happened? And then in the writing of it, he decided, oh, maybe we should introduce the audience to the character that dies so that they can mourn with the family.
Mm.
So it kind of went on this this sort of evolution, and they did this beautiful series to much critical acclaim with extraordinary actors, and then luckily Sphere said, let's do it in English. We brought on Joseph K, and he brought on all us English speakers. But we've sort of adapted it. The first season was a bit closer.
Yeah.
The first 4 episodes were very close. And it was, in Montreal, I love that we have done that we have made it one of the characters.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I find it crazy that in Canada we don't have more shows in Montreal. Montreal is such an awesome
It's
city.
a gorgeous city.
Yeah.
19.2.
But in some ways, like, I think
Very cool show.
as, like, a lot of stuff is filmed in Toronto, but very little is filmed in Toronto as
As
Toronto.
Toronto.
Yeah.
So, like, with the more and more that we get to see stuff, like, not even that we recognize as landmarks, but that is proudly Toronto, that sort of makes it its own character, too. So I'm glad to see that they're branching out and doing this with Montreal as well.
Yeah, and
It's so
especially with all
pretty.
that division, right, between English and French Canada. And I always had this theory, but why do we not, if you grow up in Canada kind of claims itself to be a bilingual country, which is because we have French and English communities. But why do we not have, if you are brought up in an English family, you go to French immersion. If you're brought up in a French family, you go to English immersion. And if we did that, we'd have in one generation this fabulous bilingual country. Right? And we would all be so much smarter because of it.
I know, we could express ourselves way better.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
some stuff you just can't say.
You just can't swear properly in English.
You need Hungarian to swear properly.
Oh!
They are the best swearers.
Okay. Do we get an example?
Or like
If you're gonna bring it up,
Portuguese,
give us
because
an
they just sound
example.
I
angry.
don't think I can.
Okay.
I think I would be censored even from the internet.
Wow.
No,
Even from the
Hungarian,
internet.
Hungarian swearing is really dirty.
Amazing.
Interest peaked.
You're gonna
There
be
it
Google
is.
eyes. Do some Google eyes.
All right. Now, the subject matter, I mean, it's heavy subject matter.
It's life.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, there's that.
I mean, I'm not wishing this disease on anybody or any disease in that point of fact, but coming to it as an actor, is it cathartic in a way to be put through all these emotions and convey them? I mean, do you come out after a scene just totally wrecked and like, I needed that?
And
Just-
refreshed.
Yeah.
Because of it. Yeah, that's a cool question. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not about the disease. It's about, to me, like the conversation is about death. It's about facing our death and facing the fact that we do have a finite amount of time here, which I think most of our popular culture and most of ourselves like to forget that. Because if we actually own that, we have a finite amount of time, then we spend our days very differently. Like, do you actually go, I'm gonna sleep until noon today?
Yeah.
Okay, you've only got how many more noons left? Are you really gonna sleep until noon? Or are you gonna get up and do something? So, yeah, it's a cool world to throw yourself in. It's cathartic for me at the beginning of a season because it makes me think of that. It makes me go, oh my God, I'm grateful, I'm alive, I'm alive. And it makes you really conscious and present of that. But by the end of the season, I feel exhausted from having to be so present and having to be so grateful, and I kind of want to be pissy and I want to be snotty and I want to have road rage and I want to go and I go, I can't because one day I'm gonna die and this is all. So you kind of do.
I gotta see the positive in every fucking thing.
Right? You kind of have that internal battle, which gets exhausting.
I had that very thought this morning actually. How many more of these days do I have, and why am I at work?
Really? Right. Why am I not starting this day with champagne?
Right?
Champagne for breakfast.
You know, a longer shower.
Yeah.
Or that. That's an easier.
Right? It's easily achieved.
You can do the longer. Give yourself a longer shower.
Totally earned it. Totally earned it.
Yeah.
But okay, so you've lived with this character for 2 seasons now,
Mm-hmm.
and you hinted, of course, that in the original series that that started with the death and kind of went from there. Does that mean spoiler somewhere along the way? Tori's going to leave the series, and the series is going to continue past that?
Yeah, well, the French series, that was the concept was without the character, and then they decided to introduce the character, and then they kept the character for a couple of seasons in the end. So for us, we don't know what. I mean, she definitely. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give spoilers for what's going to happen in the second season. I think if they never let her die, then they're not being honest to the show. That very first episode, that very first season, first scene almost, something is put in play, and if they don't follow through with that concept, then they're kind of.
It'll be cheap.
Yeah, it's a big cheat, so I think they have to. And that's the irony, I mean, as an actor, we get written out of shows all the time. And this is the one show I would so love not to get written out of because
But you wouldn't necessarily, because a lot of times when somebody passes, then their presence is still felt. Like there's other ways of you still sort of being around.
showing up.
Yeah.
Except, I do think probably there's something in when somebody that you love dies and they're just not there. They might be there in your head, they might be there in your heart. I think it's kind of stronger storytelling to just have them not there.
We do have to see what happens to everybody else.
Right? I mean, like the 6
With
Feet
that.
Under storyline
Yeah.
was fabulous, but you had this guy floating around, and so you didn't really emotionally miss him
Mhm,
because
he was
he
still
was
there.
there.
Yeah.
And I think there's something braver about just
Yeah, I
going,
don't think you should be there totally, but
I had this idea. I
like
was
in a dream or something.
Yeah, I want to do like the Orphan Black version. I kept saying, just let her be like, you know, she's like pot smoking Natalie when she hangs out with Maggie, and then she's like religious Natalie when she hangs out with her mom, and like it'd be like an acting dream, like, all the different versions of how everybody else remembered you. And memory is so interesting, right? It's
Yeah.
different.
For everyone.
Yeah, depending on all that stuff.
Even when two people are in the same room, they remember it, what happened.
We were just talking about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tricky,
Oh,
tricky.
but look at that. Listed off This Life, Orphan Black, and 6 Feet Under, like 5 minutes. That is good television. All of it's good television.
Dark matter.
Dark.
Oh.
We gotta get in there.
Definitely dark.
I'm like, I gotta bring up dark matter just
Yeah.
'cause.
Aw,
But I mean,
love dark matter.
right? So good. How do we get you on there? Get on there.
How did I get on there?
We need to get you on there. If you're on there.
No, she is.
Did she? Okay, because I haven't watched the season yet.
Yeah.
I wait and just junkie it. So, yeah. Sweet.
I got a fun character on
Do you?
that.
Okay, I'm
I
very
always play
excited.
these sweet, nice, emotionally compassionate people. On dark matter, I don't give a shit.
Nice.
I don't give a fuck what
You
you
even got to be like two kind of versions
Nice.
of you on that with that.
That makes me so
Oh, the
happy.
parallel craziness,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That makes me
That's
so
cool.
happy. That makes me so happy.
It's cool. Makes me happy too.
That's awesome.
And it's old family. I get to like join the old family.
Right?
Yeah.
I love when that happens because I mean, the further we get in, we've said this a number of times. The further we get into knowing people in the industry, you realize how small it actually is and how often so many people have worked together. And
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Small
you've got.
world. Let's hold hands.
Don't,
It's a
don't.
small-
I'll never get it out of my head.
I mean, in your show alone, I mean, you know, Lauren Lee Smith, who is a friend of ours, Christopher Turner, who's been on our show 4 times and has been actually able to make it work 3 times, I think. He's cursed. If you don't know, Christopher Turner is cursed.
I didn't know that.
Only
about
with
him.
us.
Yeah.
In
Really.
what way? I love Christopher Turner
Yeah.
so much.
We
I think
lost-
the
All
first
my
time he was
siblings
in
in the
here,
show.
the episode footage corrupted.
Yeah.
We lost it entirely. The second time there was no sound.
There's sound.
Then he came to the Guinness thing and
Yeah.
he sat down very carefully
Yeah.
on the couch. He was like, I don't want to wreck your attempt. And I'm like, I got you in early enough that even if we wreck it,
We
it
can
can
still-
still beat
yeah.
the record. Barely.
Aw.
But it
After.
might just be us. It might just be the chemistry of
Yeah.
the 3 of us, yeah.
It's
It
just,
just
too
means he has to
magic.
keep
Right,
something
that's
back.
what it
Yeah.
is.
It's super magic. It's so magic. It's like magnetic, powerful, and everything just burns out.
Yeah. You're a wizard too, Christopher.
Okay, so you've got season 2 behind you now.
Mhm.
You're doing the whole big press thing. Once that's out of the way, what do you do to unwind?
Oh, I'm so excited.
Heroin. We already went
Yes,
through this.
Well, that's first. That's the bridge. That's the bridge to
Yeah.
unwind. Last year, I finished This Life. I'm like, I need to play another character or something which is like not all feely because I gotta
Yeah.
get these feelies off
Sure.
of me. So I ended up doing this play here in Toronto, Canadian
okay.
Stage. With Paul Gross and Martha Burns, and it was called Domesticated, fabulous play, very, very dark, all these ugly, ugly people, and I thought, this would be great, just to play somebody ugly and self-serving, and but it ended up being, in a way, more depressing than This
Oh,
Life,
no.
because you went home every night going, oh, I'm such a bad person.
Nobody's nice to me.
Nobody's nice, everything's awful, humanity is doomed. And then I did that at the same time that I was shooting in Human Condition. So it was this crazy, I had like 12 months almost of nonstop work, and then I got to January and I just couldn't even talk for about 3 weeks. So this week, on Monday, I go to Britain for a month just to
Yay.
see family and friends and have fun, and then I go to New York for a month to do some acting gym. I'm going to like classes and
Cool.
Shakespeare, gym, fun,
Wow.
play stuff. Yeah, really excited. That's how I'm gonna reset this year.
Right?
I learned last year didn't work,
No.
that reset did not work.
I mean, it's definitely awesome to have that much work lined up.
It was-
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I loved all the gigs,
Yeah.
they were
But
amazing.
you need some personal time for
I'm
yourself.
getting old, I gotta get my old posture.
If you're getting old, that means we're getting old, and I refuse to subscribe to
Oh,
that.
we all are getting old,
No.
that's awesome.
We're all going to die,
We
Tim.
are, we're gonna die, we're getting old, we're gonna die, and that's not bad to know.
No.
Oh,
good to know.
I'm okay knowing that I'm going to die. I'm okay with that part. The
Okay.
getting old part.
But why? Because what's the alternative to getting old? It's dying.
Young.
We get older every day, so if you don't get older, you're dead.
And
the
plus,
story.
there's so
Wow.
much
So getting-
stuff to look forward
Right,
to.
getting old is awesome. You have all these different rites of passage. You look at the world differently at 80, hopefully, than we did at 18.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if not, we didn't evolve and we just took up a lot of space for a lot of time. So getting old is awesome.
I'm looking forward to
Alright.
losing my filters and saying whatever the fuck I
Right?
want.
Let's bring it on. Sorry, I already have it a bit. Yeah.
Awesome.
See?
Very cool. That's, okay, you brought up Shakespeare though, I have to follow up. Favorite Shakespeare play?
King Lear.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think so. I mean, I like a lot of them. He's got. I just did Much Ado About Nothing a couple years
I
ago.
love Much Ado.
I love it too. It's like one of the first feminist plays out there. It's so fabulous.
So
And I
much
got
fun.
to play Beatrice, and that was
No way.
delightful.
Oh, wicked, good for you.
No
That's a
way.
great role.
It's a beautiful role. She's so smart and fast and witty, and oh, I love her, I love her. But I think King Lear's my favorite because there is that whole, it's such a clear evolution on this guy getting so lost in
Yeah.
his power and his losing of power and his ego, and then just that redemption of, oh, I get it, I fucked up. And I
I
get
named
it.
my first cat after taming of the shrew.
Did you?
I named her Kate.
Did you tame her? Or was she wild cat?
No, she had an attitude when I got her, but then we just
Bonded.
became, yeah, you know, I was her person and she was my girl, so.
Oh, that's good.
Mm.
You accepted her wildness.
Yeah. I didn't tell her to say the sun was the moon or whatever.
It's light out. No, it's dark out. What?
God, I need to watch that.